All right, we have another Brock Purdy surgery update with some research of my own added on top of that. I've had some time since Brock Purdy actually spoke publicly to KMBR about the surgery decision. The date has been set for February 22nd, and he talked about the doctor Keith Meister, who might be the most renowned UCL repair physician in the United States and by extension the world. So here's what Brock Purdy said on KMBR, followed by some of my analysis, and we'll be able to start developing a timeline of different possibilities for Brock Purdy's return after this surgery.
The results that we needed, and yeah, everyone's saying it'd be the best for just my career moving forward to get the surgery and get the repair with the internal brace. Still, there could be, some question as to getting a hybrid surgery, which is reconstruction with the internal brace. So we're going into it thinking the repair with the internal brace for sure. But all the surgeons have said that, and that's what we're, hoping for, and get a 6-month recovery in and be ready for camp.
So that's something where Dr. Meister would almost go Oscar, Oscar, Oscar at the in the surgery room where he could flip it. And if they do have to do the other surgery, who ultimately makes that call? Is that something your family makes, or the 49ers, or you're involved in it? Or does Dr. Meister make that call as far as which surgery you do once he gets inside the elbow and looks at it, Brock?
Yeah, that's Dr. Meister's call. He's done this, year after year with the best of the best with MLB pitchers, and so he's definitely seen this kind of thing happen, and he's going to make the best call, and not just, just for the heck of it. It's obviously for the best call for my career moving forward, and he knows what's best, and he's going to make the best decision for us. So it'll be good. It'll be good.
So this is fascinating stuff. You see it put on the screen beneath me. Dr. Keith Meister, Brock Purdy was talking about. He's the team physician of the Texas Rangers, and he performs 200 or more of these UCL repairs every year. But UCL repairs are not all built the same. It used to be very simple, especially for baseball pitchers. Tommy John surgery, which is full reconstruction, was the option. The problem with Tommy John surgery is because it is full reconstruction, it could take 1.5 years, 2 years to return from Tommy John surgery. That obviously wouldn't do the 2023 49ers much good. So option A, plan A, that Brock Purdy has discussed, and this is the one that the 49ers and Dr. Meister and Brock Purdy are going to try to follow when this surgery happens on February 22nd, is the internal brace technique. This is not Tommy John surgery. It is a shorter recovery time, a ballpark 6-month recovery. Now, everybody seems to be getting all worked up about this 6-month and exact date here, exact date there. You're looking at it wrong, guys. Anything that's like a half year out, that ballpark recovery time is ballpark recovery time. Pun intended, by the way, ballpark, baseball, UCL injury, but you can't be looking at it specifically by the day. 6-month estimate can mean some guys come back in 5. Some guys come back sooner. Some guys could take 7, yes. So it could be longer than 6 months, but it could also be a little bit shorter than 6 months. It was hard to put a finger on Jimmy Garoppolo's injury, and that was a fracture. That was a 6 to 8 week kind of thing. But obviously the upper end of that timetable ended up ruling the day because of the complicated nature of healing the fracture, being able to plant the foot, do all that good stuff. Well, Brock Purdy has a more serious injury because this is a torn ligament. But when we're talking about 6 months with the internal brace technique, it could be a little bit less. We just don't know. We're going to find out when that surgery happens. Now, one more thing about Plan A, internal brace. It was first used, this technique, by an NFL quarterback when Nick Mullins of the 49ers tore his UCL against the Cowboys late in the 2020 season. The research I have conducted discovered that Nick Mullins underwent surgery on January 26th of 2021. So that was a December, I think, mid-December game against the Dallas Cowboys. It took over a month for Nick Mullins to undergo that surgery. And that's why this surgery for Brock Purdy isn't scheduled until February 22nd, because you're waiting for the swelling to subside, because there's going to be a lot of variables that Keith Meister, the surgeon in this case, is going to have to decide upon when he is already operating on Brock Purdy. So Mullins took a while to get under the knife, finally did on January 26th, over a month after the 49ers played the Cowboys, and Brock Purdy, he's going to be under the knife February 22nd. And the NFC Championship game was against the Eagles on January 29th. So if all goes according to the initial hope, they're going to go plan A, which is this internal brace. They're going to do the same thing that they did for the first time to an NFL quarterback, to Nick Mullins. That worked out. Mullins didn't play for the 49ers a subsequent year, but he was ready for training camp that next season. Plan B, which Purdy talked about in the video, is hybrid surgery. That doesn't mean Tommy John necessarily, but that means that there will be some reconstruction happening if this is indeed what happens. And this is going to be up to Dr. Meister, but he won't be able to tell for sure until he gets in to that elbow, until he could see what exactly is wrong with that UCL. And because Keith Meister is a baseball physician, he's dealt with Tommy John injuries. He probably has more experience than anybody with these UCL repairs. They're going to trust Meister to determine on February 22nd, once he's actually looking at the UCL and not just an MRI, they're going to trust him to decide what's best. Now, if this turns into a hybrid surgery, the recovery time will obviously be longer. And it's hard to put a finger on how long it will be. I've talked to a few people. I've done some research. It could be 9 months, could even be a little bit longer. If this does turn to the hybrid recovery, the hybrid surgery, well, in the recovery, you just hold your breath if you're the 49ers. And in that case, well, the door would be open for Trey Lance even wider. But this is something, it's February 10th. So we still have over a week before this is going to become a thing. On February 22nd, we'll find out if plan A is going to work for Brock Purdy or if they're going to have to go to plan B, which is hybrid surgery. And it's going to be up to Keith Meister, who's a team physician of the Texas Rangers, to do the surgery. All right, that's the Brock Purdy update. We will talk to you all very soon. Take care.